Salam aleikum, aleikum salam. Piango, piango, derechito por guatarraya. So this time we are gonna use this Congo name and we are gonna transcribe it into a spirit magical symbol, into a Patipemba or sigil. Like you can see here, the first word that it comes from this name is tumba cuatro. That's an Spanish term which refers that somebody is, or any energy is going to knock down or to cut down 4. Basically, I'm explaining again that all this information could be seen more clearly when the person is able to understand where is getting all this information, and the person get all this information from the Dikenga. But like I said before, I don't want to confuse you. Just want to try to keep it simple, because I just want you to understand how this process of transcribing names into symbols or symbols into names works. About the Dikenga, that's a higher level. We are just on Patipemba first level. So as we already discussed before, all this information that we are getting, that we transcribe this Congo name, is coming from the main source, which is the Dikenga. The Dikenga is the main source who's going to provide the information that we need in order to play with this symbol of these Congo names or words. In this time, like we already discussed before, in the Spanish word, like it say tumba cuatro, is to knock down or to cut down 4. But from the Dikenga, we get the information that, remember, the ensasas, the arrows, represent entities, but also could represent person. So the ensasa is the tool of energy. Therefore, we draw 4 ensasas, which is going to represent this number 4. Then we're saying tumba. In other words, that such energy is going to cause to knock down these 4 ensasa. And that's how we get that another arrow, another ensasa, must take down, must cut down, as it would be like a tree, cutting down a tree, so it will fall all the way from top to bottom. Or to knock down this 4 energy. And we could accomplish that by drawing another ensasa. This time, since they are in a vertical position, then we use an ensasa that is going to be in a horizontal position, and it's going to fly, it's going to travel across through the body of this 4 ensasa, and that's what is going to, as a result, create this destruction. But it's something very important to keep in mind, because we could draw this horizontal ensasa, like we referred before in another videos. This is the head, and this is the feet, the tail of the ensasa. The tail, we already said that got the information from the place that it was delivered or it was sent out, this ensasa, to do the spell or the job for the spirit. But the head not only is going to carry the information, going to represent the spirit that's going to have on mind the orders, but also this is going to be, it's going to open its way through the air to get into its own destination. In other words, it's going to open its way to make entrance to get into wherever the Mayombero priest has sent out this ensasa. That's why we say the head will point out the entrance, and that's why we said the tail represent the exit, the place of departure of this arrow. So it could be draw this arrow with the head going from left to the right hand side like the first one, or we could do the same ensasa arrow the other way around, from right, departing from right, going through left. How I will know which is the proper way how to draw the ensasa position? As I already discussed before, by getting the information from the Dikenga. We are not going to discuss the Dikenga information because we are just on Patipemba course first level. That belongs to other higher levels. It's more complicated. But just keep it in mind. That's where we get this information. But also, there is a way how we could simplify these two arrows. The combination of these two arrows could be represented by this arrow, which actually it could go either direction. But if you pay attention into, basically you're gonna see that this arrow will have two heads. Actually, if I cover this on this side, you could see that would be this arrow, the one that is going from left to right. But then the other arrow, if I cover the other head, it's gonna go, it's this one, the one that goes from right to the left. So the combination of these two energies, of these two arrows, that they're pulling out, they're oriented their own energy to each other. They also have tail, so which actually means this arrow is gonna be, if it will be like a blinking light, it's gonna be non-stop action. It's not gonna have an end. It's just gonna go his way and it's gonna come back. And when it goes this way, then it's gonna come back. And that's a very important view that I want all the practitioners to understand, that this simplified form could help the Patipemba to flow. In this case, these two ensasa, which are working as one unit, it's going to flow to either direction. But once they get to either direction, they're going to return back to their original position. They are not going to rest. They're going to be flowing. This spiritual fluid will make this going back and forward, back and forward. So it's a non-stop action. That's when we draw it like this, with the two heads pointing outside. But when we draw it, and this one no tail, just two heads on each side, But when we draw it like tail and a head, then it's gonna go to its destination, but it's not gonna be moving back and forward. It's just gonna go, reach its goal, and that's about it.